hours, my friend?
I'm going to say 125 just because that sounded good.
Yeah, that sounds great. Right on the number.
That?
It sounds perfect.
Works for me.
Perfect. BT,
a few of those
news.
for me, for sure.
Yeah, he was an awesome follow over the last 72 hours. Good work. Let's get right into it. And it was indeed a busy weekend. Let's kick things off with the notable additions to the world champion Laker roster. Sixth Man of the Year winner Montrezl Harrell coming over from the Clippers. Dennis Schroeder, Sixth Man of the Year runner-up, acquired in a trade with the Thunder. And how about 11-year veteran Wesley Matthews leaving the Bucks for the Lakers? And the big man, not Powell, his brother Marc Gasol, coming back to the team that drafted him 13 years ago.
Finally, he's back.
He is back with the Los Angeles Lakers. So listen, Danny Green was dealt last week. I want to start with Wesley Matthews. He's expected to fill Danny Green's role. Do you like this move, Brez?
I do, especially when you take into account what it costs the Lakers. It's what is called the biannual exception. It's about $3.5 million for this upcoming season. That's a good value, especially when you consider the average NBA salary is over $9 million. So you get that wing defender that you lost when you traded Danny Green away, a guy who can also make threes. He's played for good teams, especially the last couple of years with Milwaukee. Probably picked up a thing or two with that franchise. And now, though, the big step up to the Lakers. Will he be a starter? That's really the only question. If not, he will be very quickly coming off that bench for the Lakers.
Yeah, you kind of led me to what I was going to ask BT. One, if you like it, and do you expect him to just slide right into that starting role where Danny was?
You know, I love it for everything Bresnahan just said. The idea that he's tough, he's a 3-and-D guy. He's about a 38% three-point shooter over his career. And the fact, as Brad said, it didn't cost the Lakers a lot of money. Now, whether or not he starts, based on what one coach told me from the Lakers, first they want to see what the team is looking like. Then they want to get to practice and decide from that point on who should start, who should come off the bench. Wesley will be in there for that role. He'll have a good chance at doing that. But we won't know until maybe December, 20th or so, something like that.
BT, are you tired? Did you just agree with Brez this early in the show?
Well, I agreed and disagreed.
Okay.
How can you not?
Okay.
It's Bresnahan.
BT, you're falling asleep.
BT,
He's put a lot of late nights. I appreciate it.
It's being nice to you right off the bat. All right, and it's now official. The Lakers and Cavs, that deal is done. Sending JaVale McGee to Cleveland. Thank you, JaVale, for all you did the last few years. We appreciate it. A couple years in exchange for Jordan Bell and Alfonso McKinney. The deal is all about making cap space for the Lakers to do a bigger move. And Brez, BT, Marc Gasol is now a Laker. Different than JaVale and Dwight, but at 35, he can still defend. High IQ on the basketball court, a brilliant passer, and now they have that 5 that can bring you outside the three-point line. Brez, he shoots 38% from three. He's really changed his entire game. Do you like it?
I do. And you talk about JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, guys who gave the Lakers a great year, helped them get to that championship. But then again, they weren't used that much in the actual finals. And JaVale really wasn't used after the first round. Remember, Markieff Morris started being put in the starting lineup in his place in that second round against the Houston Rockets. Now you bring on a guy like Marc Gasol, different from both those guys because he can shoot outside the paint, period. He's got three-point touch. He's worked hard on it, too. It's not like he was like Powell, who could always shoot outside from day one. Now you have a guy who's really worked on being outside that arc, can draw the defense out, and can still block shots and get some rebounds as well.
And BT, you go from a vertical game with JaVale and Dwight, where it was all about lobs. It wasn't about spacing the floor, protecting the rim, to Marc Gasol. Do you like the fit?
I like it a lot. One thing he can do is he's not a bad defender. Let's not forget, he was a defensive player of the year, I think, a couple of years ago. It's different than what Dwight Howard did and JaVale. They block shots. He's more of a guy that uses his body, gets in good position. And one thing I kept thinking about, there are a lot of really good centers from Europe. He's a European center, and he knows how these guys play and how they kind of flop at times. So perhaps he'll just flop right back. It'll be a flopping game between the European centers because they'll play good defense against each other.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're getting excited. We're not done yet. Sixth Man of the Year, staying in L.A., but he's changing teams. I know you guys couldn't believe it when it went down. Montrezl Harrell leaving the Clippers for the purple and gold. He averaged 18.6 points per game last season, 58% from the field. He's the only player with more than 1,000 points and 400 rebounds off the bench each of the last 2 seasons, and he led the NBA with 28 double-doubles during that span. It's official. Laker fans rejoice. We welcome Montrezl Harrell to the show. Thanks for being here. I'm sure it's been a long couple of days. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So happy to have you. When you hear Montrezl Harrell of the Los Angeles Lakers, how does that sound?
She got a great ring to it, sounds like to me.
You ever picture yourself in that purple and gold? Because it's here.
I got a couple of edits that's been done. A lot of people that do animations for me have been doing some great jobs for me.
I know. Isn't Twitter and social media great? Like, the minute you signed, there was like you in a jersey. It was pretty awesome.
Man, photo shopping and editor now is crazy.
So, Trez, can you share what went into your decision to potentially pass up more money to play in another city or to leave the Clippers where you had so much success to join the Lakers?
My choice was really just, from my inner circle, my family, just talking and looking over the decisions that we had on the table. And we just felt like just coming and playing the purple and gold was the best choice. And, I definitely felt like it's the best choice for me. So that's what we went with. And, I'm happy to be a Laker.
From the moment the season ended, were you talking with your family and your inner circle about the next step?
No. As soon as the season ended, I actually went home and took the time to actually grieve and be with my family and actually mourn the loss of my grandmother. And then after that, I just was being a dad as I'm continuously still doing, man. That's all I was doing, just being around my kids and just that love and that energy. That's all I've been doing. And when free agency came about, that's when, I started getting into the talks with my agent. But, I left the basketball to, what I've done and what I've produced and left out there. And that's all I could do.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to you and your family. I know you lost your grandmother in July while you were in Orlando. What did she mean to you?
Everything. Everything in the entire world. I still have multiple, pieces with her. Everything that I do is, going to praise her name and, continue to take care of my family and my loved ones. How I've been doing, since I was 16, 17. And it's still tough to this day. But, it's still going to be one of those, growing processes, one of those things that I'm going to have to take one day at a time.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. And there's no question she's very, very proud of you. Now we transition to basketball. How excited are you for this opportunity to play with LeBron James, an all-time great?
I'm extremely and, really, really honored once. And, I'm ready to get going. Honestly, man, I can't wait for training camp to kick off and, actually, throw that practice jersey on and we go in there and get to work, really.
Trez, how many times have you visualized running that high pick and roll with Bron over the last couple days?
Man, I've visioned high pick and rolls, baseline plays, all of it, lobs, everything, man. Like I said, I'm just ready to get going, man. This is a great feeling, and I'm just, happy to be here.
I hear you on that. Listen, so you play against Anthony Davis these past 5 years. He's in New Orleans and then L.A., played him 4 times last year, to now playing with the game's most versatile big. What do you envision that looking like, and how does your game complement his?
Like I said, I'm just doing anything and everything I can to help complement these guys what they already do well, man. They've already shown and proven that they can win a championship without the, pieces that we've added this year. So I'm just coming in looking to do anything I can to complement that chemistry that these guys already have built.
Trez, we're a Lakers set here, and even we were unanimous in voting you 6th Man of the Year. So you're coming off an incredible season. You're winning that award, and you've always been a let my work speak for itself kind of player. But what did this award mean to you personally when you really sat back and thought about it?
It's kind of one of those funny situations. It's kind of one of those things that it kind of hurts a little bit just because I lost my grandmother and we kind of had these talks, before losing her. So it's one of those things that kind of hurts and stings. But at the same time, it just made me, change my mindset and to be even one of those players that's still working. How they take approach to the game is going to, enhance even more and just speak even more for itself. That's what I've always been known for. That's always what, people have, first said, is how hard he works, and I'm just going to take that to a whole extremely different level because it's never one of those things that still hurt me to this day, not being able to, take that trophy home and show it to my grandmother.
You know, your game's evolved every single year. How driven are you to continue to improve?
Still, continuously every day. Got another 1 or 2 workouts set for today. So, this game is continuously changing. And, I don't want to be one of those players that, that label as can only do this one thing, because once you get that label, it's pretty hard to get off of you. And now it cuts you, in half as a player, no matter what. And I never wanted to be looked at as one of those players coming into this game. I want to, always look at myself as a person that, can do multiple things in this game whenever asked, whenever needed. That's the way I always approach the game. That's the way I always look at my game. And, the things that I do well, I enhance those things, but the things that I don't do well, I work extremely hard on, 2-3 times harder than what I already do well.
Prez, last thing, and I got to be honest, if that's okay with you, you were always a player that drove us Laker fans absolutely crazy because of how hard and how well you played against them every damn time. Right. It would be like, I can't stand Trez, but man, I'd love him in a Laker uniform. And then when the signing was announced, Laker Twitter goes nuts. It celebrates. I know how excited Laker fans are. What message do you have for Laker Nation?
Well, the only message that I have is, now you guys don't have to hate me. Now you can love me.
hey, it was always a lot of love. Just so much respect.
Yes, sir. Right. Thank you so much.
All right, Trez. So happy to have you, and thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you soon.
No. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
He's a Laker, but I just remember so many times going, it kills us. God, I wish he could be a Laker. BT, listen, you covered him for years. Not only did the Lakers sign Trez for 2 years, they got him away from the Los Angeles Clippers. He was part of the heart and soul, especially that bench with Lou Williams. How surprising was this for you, and what kind of player are they getting? What kind of guy?
I was truly surprised because I didn't hear his name come up until the very end of that day where it was starting to happen. The one thing I do know about Trez that really impressed me a lot, when he first got there, he was a third-string center for the Clippers. So after games were over, he would head back to Staples Centers to the practice facility to work on his game at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock. He's always worked to improve, just like he said, and it made him to the player he is today. And he just told you in the interview, he was going to work on it again after the interview session was over with you guys. So that tells me how dedicated he is, how driven he is. Laker fans will love him because I enjoy watching him play. And I really enjoy watching him progress as a player and as a young man over the years with the Clippers.
Good stuff, BT. Brez, what does he add to this Laker roster when you look at it?
Well, I think, first of all, the motor. I mean, just a high-energy, high-octane way of playing the game, and I always appreciate that. Like you, it's kind of like, wouldn't it be something if the Lakers could get him?
Yeah. And
also some consistency, all right? You had Dwight and JaVale, and they kind of do their thing in the game. Sometimes JaVale wouldn't finish the game. Sometimes Anthony Davis would. But you never quite knew what you would get from the Lakers centers. Here, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get at least 15 points and close to 10 rebounds.